Well done, my friend.
All right, should we just let some people know what's going on tonight? Because we should probably start.
It was Kim. Kim won. Kim just declared. Do you know what? Kim literally put in our live group chat before this. I think I'm going to do well in the Kahoot
talk about
tonight.
this after, and let's say what's going on tonight.
I'm sorry.
So, tonight, we have another wonderful panel by the wonderful Lee Brown, a few of the Chester Gang, Charles Dyson, and I hear Nathan Jordan from Gloucester. If you don't know who that is, you'll find out.
Nathan Jordan.
Pastor Nathan Jordan
is joining us, so that is really exciting.
Yes.
We have got some praise and worship coming up.
Yeah, I feel like we said that every week. What else we got?
We have got a challenge video coming up.
This. Do you know what? You introduce it. I'll be interested to see what you think.
We have got Gregory. I'm sure he's going to make an appearance because he always does.
Actually, that reminds me, and we're going to go straight into the show after this. Do you remember that move Gregory taught you last week?
Yeah, I remember it.
Maybe that will come in handy a bit later.
Oh, will it?
Peace out, Audacious Youth. We've been Charlie and Molly, and we'll see you Sunday for live, church, and in your regional calls afterwards. Peace out.
Shalom.
Where the sky meets the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. Oh my god, oh my god.
Are you having trouble getting your lights down during pack down? Won't come down its first tug? All you gotta do is use Kenneth's whip around strategy. Cool. Oh.
It's the same thing. Yeah, thank you.
All you gotta do is use Kenneth's whip around strategy. Cool. Come on now, it was working before.
What have you got? A latte. Can I have it? A nice latte. I'm basic.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
If you were to say hi to someone, how would you greet them?
Oh, would I beat him?
Yeah.
Oh, flipping it. Sorry.
Whip around strategy. Takes a bit more violence. Finesse. Then I can go first bit.
Any words for the vlog?
We love Jesus.
That's true. We are a church.
Always shop cooperative. Sponsored.
I wish.
Content. You're not even.
Who are you, mate? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
It bends.
Round! Kenneth's whip around strategy. Pattern coming soon.
What can I say? I've taken over. What can I say? I've taken over. I have. Wait, she's not taking a mick out of my accent. Oh, I think I'm the best. Oh, look at me. I want attention. Look at me. Says you.
Refocusing. Bring me in.
We're supposed to lead us, rabble out.
Refocusers. He is the refocuser. Good. Now, take your chest. He's getting too big for his boots.
That was actually low-key alright, you know. So as you can like presume, if your best friend, wow, if your best friend, don't write that in your notes. If your best friend, Go.
What a shame.
Oh, trip up. I can't see. I'm trusting. Trust the Lord. Trust the Lord.
I feel so proud. I tell you what, Charlie did. Because he must be looking at us filming half his footage. He was like, that's not going to go in. I've got to watch it anyway.
Yeah, I've got to watch this, and he said I can't go in.
We'll just get some light here.
Look how they spelled my name. It's not how you spell BB. A mysterious stranger in a flat cap.
Man, just out here chilling, you know. I'm gonna get those big nugs.
Please can whoever thinks his voice is funny show themselves because nobody here does. Thank you. Comment below.
Hello to you, Youth Online. It's good to have you. We love you. You are awesome.
Yes, you are. We are so glad to see you again. Hopefully, we'll see you face to face very soon. If you are watching this right now, and we just want to make sure that you like the video and you subscribe to the video, and that way you get what's it? Where it tells you notification, and you know what's going on, and you keep up to date. But also, it just means that things are going well. So.
Things are going well, does it?
Things are going well.
Yeah, it also helps us out, doesn't it? And it helps us when people search for us on YouTube. That's the reality.
Reality.
Yeah. So anyway, time for regions.
Regions.
Time for regions.
We love you.
Now, I'm going to go with... What?
Who are you going to start with?
Oh, right. I'm going to go with Chester.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do Chester. We
Chester,
love
where are you? Where are you at, Chester?
Woo!
Come on, put it in the chat. We know you are allowed.
Chester.
We're all allowed in
Leighton
Chester.
Lizandri.
Yeah, they're great over there.
I'm going to go with West.
You're going for this as well. What is it with you and the party horn? You're loving a party horn.
I'm going to practice and it's going to be
Are you? Okay, cool.
East. Hi, East.
East. North.
No.
I was very close to punching the ceiling for a north there. That's good. North. Break my hand. South.
We love you, South.
I'm from the south.
South now.
North Manchester, East Manchester, West Manchester. We're West Manchester, aren't we? We live in West. No, we live in West,
right.
but I'm from the south.
You are.
So I'm split. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. Wait. Anyway, we're going to find out this week what the challenge is for the week. And Dan and Alex, where are you?
Hey, Audacious Youth. Hey, Audacious Youth. Now, we had an absolutely huge 0 entries for the Chubby Bunny Challenge last week. Thanks, guys. But don't worry, because our 2 youth pastors, Andy and Lee, took part in the Chubby Bunny Challenge about this time last year. So let's have a look who you back in, Manchester or Chester.
Chubby Bunnies.
Chubby bunnies.
Chubby Bunnies.
You're not allowed to chew them, bro, and they go
I'm
in.
not chewing them.
Cheating.
I'm moving them in my mouth.
Chubby bunnies?
Chubby Bunnies. That's not chewing, I'm just moving them. This guy.
Chubby bunnies? You got a great
Chubby
smile.
Bunnies. Chubby Bunnies.
Chubby bunnies.
Oh, it's getting bad. Chubby bunnies.
Chubby bunnies. Chubby bunnies.
Chubby bunnies.
Chubby bunnies.
Oh, chubby bunnies. I'm going up.
Chubby bunnies. Chubby bunnies.
Chubby bunnies.
How many you got?
Oh, I don't even know. Chubby bunnies. Yeah,
Audacious Youth. Hey Audacious Youth, this week's challenge is to design and build the best paper airplane. It has to look cool and it has to be able to fly. So get us your entries by Sunday night. Have a look at Will's example.
Just gonna wing it.
Nice. Make sure you get your entries in by Sunday. Please enter this week. We don't want to not be able to give away one of our prizes this week. So get making your paper planes. Show us your designs on TikTok, Instagram, or just send them to your life group leader if that's easier. I'm looking forward to see what you guys come up with.
Audacious Youth, it's that time of weekend. It's time to turn your living room into a praise pit. So stand up, shake yourself off, learn some moves that Gregory taught us last week, and get ready to praise.
And have a good time. I'ma be up in here having some god time, and you're good on the genuine. Like illumination, illumination. You light up my life like you lit up creation. Won't let me drown, you my flotation. Won't let me thirst, cause you my hydration. So I'ma do my dance in your arms. This love is gonna last in your arms. You're everything to me, everything I need, everything I wanna be, JC.
You got me like,
enough. You got all eternity in heaven above. Your joy is strong, your love goes on and on and on and on and on. So I'ma call me your gates, thanks, courts, praise. I don't ever wanna be any other place. In your vicinity's where I will stay. You're good when it's frosty and good in the blaze. You're good in the darkness and good in the day. You're good all the time, what else can I say? You're worthy of even the highest of praise. So every day, hey.
Praise to the left. Praise to the right. Praise to the front. Praise to behind. Praise to the left. Praise to the right. Praise to the front. Praise to behind. Praise to the left. Praise to the right. Praise to the front. Praise to behind. Praise to the left. Praise to the right. Praise to the front. Praise to behind. Praise to the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. Praise to the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right. To the front. To behind. To the left. To the right.
you got me like, oh, yeah, you make me feel so alive. You got me like, oh, and I'll never stop giving my all. Just thinking how blessed I'm. This is the best time to show the world I'm crazy about you. You got me like, oh, yeah, you make me feel so
Praise to the left. Praise to the right. Praise to the front.
I'll keep on singing, won't stop believing. Your power working me. I'm pressing forward into your promise, spirit alive in me. What can compare to the power that is working within me? I come alive, it's your fire that is working within me now. Your spirit working within me now. Your spirit working within me now. Your plan and purpose will never fail us. Your word at work in me. It's unrelenting, this love unending, spirit alive in me. What can compare to the power that is working within me? I come alive, it's your fire that is working within me now. Your spirit working within me now. Your spirit working within me now. What can compare to the power that is working within me? I come alive, it's your fire that is working within me now. That is working within me now. Your spirit working within me now.
Hey Audacious Youth Online, welcome to tonight's panel. I am with some absolute legends tonight. Can't wait to hear from them in a little bit, but I'm going to let them first introduce themselves. So first of all, over to Lizzie.
Hi guys, I'm Lizzie. I'm from Chester campus and I am 21.
I'm Charlie. I am from Manchester. I'm doing Audacious College second year and youth intern.
I'm Annie, I'm 17, I'm from Chester Youth.
And last but not least, coming in from Gloucester, we have tonight's guest, the incredible Nathan Jordan.
Hey everyone. Yes, so my name is Nathan Jordan. I herald from the amazing city of Gloucester, which is about 2.5-3 hours south of Manchester. I, along with my wife, we oversee all the youth work in one church, is the church that we're from. Very much like Audacious, we have a few different locations, so we oversee the youth work that goes on in those, and it is a privilege to be on this today.
If you don't know me, my name's Lee. I'm the youth pastor at Chester campus. Absolute privilege and honour to get to do what I do and love our young people. So shout out to the Chester Massive tuning in tonight, and everybody from wherever you're watching from across Greater Manchester, the UK and the world. What has been your favourite Netflix show during lockdown?
I haven't watched a single Netflix show, but Disney Plus came out at just the right time. So I've been binge watching the golden age of Simpsons, which I'm completely loving, because a lot of the episodes I haven't seen in years, and the jokes went right over my head as like a 7-8-year-old. Yeah, the humour is top notch.
Who's your favourite character, Charlie? Who do you resonate the most with?
Resonates most Ralph Wiggum all the way.
I'm just picturing Charlie Say putting up a picture of Ralph right now on screen.
So I've been watching like these gardening programs, which I think I'm honestly losing the plot, like no pun intended, but I don't even know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, so no Netflix, but loads of TV.
No, I've been binging everything. So Tiger King, my wife and I, we watched that in like a day and a half. It was crazy. I wouldn't recommend it because of the content, but it was fantastic. And now I'm on The Last Dance. So Michael Jordan's documentary, like just insane. Like past, so I style myself and I like kind of connect with, you got Charlie D, and then really it's Michael Jordan who I most associate myself with. I think him and I have so much in common, just looking at his lifestyle and his skill set. I'm joking, I'm nothing like him, but I aspire to be. The Last Dance, absolutely phenomenal. Michael Jordan, check that out, it's brilliant.
Sort of the same as Charlie with Disney Plus. I'd be wrong if I didn't admit I've watched all of the High School Musicals, Camp Rock, Teen Beach Movie, all of them. I'm just obsessed. I've watched them on repeat like every morning. My mum's going insane.
Cool. All right, guys. So let's do a bit of a deep dive on some questions. We're in our Legacy series over our summer term. Legacy, all talking about what people have left behind, the imprint they've left on generations. So first question for you guys, let's have a convo around, is I want to know what or whose legacy is your life a result of? So I'll say that again. What or whose legacy is your life a result of?
Yeah, great question. Like what or who, I think that's the key. For me, and I'm sure for all of us, it's a whole multitude of things that make up who we are, people's lives, different experiences. I think for me, two things. So great people and great mistakes. That's the kind of the legacy that has led to who I am today. So hands down, I am who I am because of the faithfulness and the lives of so many great people that like kind of are surrounding me now, but I've encountered before. Just their kindness to me, people that saw something in me where I couldn't see it in myself, people that believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And I could name so many. Like God has been so good in sending some great people into my life. My family are incredible. My pastors are incredible. And I am hands down who I am because of those people. So great people, but two, great mistakes as well. Like we could spend the rest of this Zoom, me talking about the multitude of mistakes that I've made in so many different arenas. And loads of them just make me cringe, loads of them are just hard to hear, but they have made me who I am. I learnt so much from my mistakes, like the legacy of my own mistakes, and there's this amazing phrase, it's not win or lose, it's win or learn. And if we could have a win or learn mentality with everything in life, it's I think that's a good way of living and good way of kind of going about different things. Oftentimes we polarize them. I'm either going to win here or I'm going to lose, and we can be quite fearful. But win or learn. So I am who I am because of great people and great mistakes as well. They've taught me a lot.
Wow, Nathan, dropping the fire. I can almost see right now the clapping emojis going off in the chat prophetically right now. That was so good, bro. What's your story within that, mate? Did you grow up a Christian family in church? Were they the people that, brought you to faith, or did you, find out through friends, or what's the story?
Yeah, in a nutshell, my parents, I come from an amazing Christian home, a loving Christian home, and they brought me up in church. For me, church was always a profoundly positive experience. It's where my friends were, it's where my mates were, and it was engaging. Like I'm fortunate to have been brought up in an engaging church. However, even in that, I started living a bit of a double lifestyle. So I was one person in church, one person outside of, and really it was probably my late teens when I decided to make a choice between the person I wanted to be. And I can honestly say it's just like God has always been there, always been faithful, and he's always like kind of contended for my heart, to use that phrase.
That is awesome. I mean, I think all of us would agree that really is like the best start to a testimony you could have is starting with great godly parents in a godly church, godly home. For me, I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I lived a crazy lifestyle till I was 16, you know, drink, rock and roll, all the above. And people are like, you know, I wish I had a crazy testimony like you. And I'm like, mine is like, you know, the worst, right? Because I had to go through all of this stuff to get to this point in God. Whereas you grew up, you know, in a Christian home, in a great environment. And that's the stuff that, you know, is the best testimony, that God saved your family and God kept you and you didn't have to, you know, walk through all of that stuff that other people walk through. So if you're watching tonight, shout out, and that is your story, is you've grown up in a Christian home. That really is the most exciting and the best story that you could ever have. So shout out to you guys living at large. Annie, what is your story? What's life like?
Yeah, I think I was very fortunate to go to Audacious when I did on like a random night at the Crown Plaza in Chester, because before that I didn't really go to church like solidly. Like me and my mum knew we wanted to, but we needed to find that place that we both thought that we belonged in. I remember when we left, I was just like, this is where I want to be. Like, I want to be back in the Crown Plaza right now. And I think we were just both really excited because we found somewhere that we felt as if we needed to be, and it was really exciting. And then from that, I met my life group, and I think it's really important that you have that constant reminder of your faith, and also having people that relate to you or on the same journey as you, because you think you're alone, but in reality there's so many people going through the same thing, and that's really refreshing.
Lizzie Rumsey, what or whose legacy is your life a result of?
Oh my gosh, so many people. Like, I couldn't even, if I tried, to name everybody who's had an impact in my life or said stuff, prayed for me. Like, there's honestly so many people. So I grew up in YWAM, which is a Christian organisation, and I was there for about 5 years of my life, from 3 to 8. And so that is basically living with like 500 Christians every single day. You're like basically just church every day, which is kind of crazy. But that was for me like my upbringing, so really solid and really like a massive foundation in God. But yeah, like I don't think those people will ever know the impact they've had on my life. And that's the crazy thing about legacy. Like, they won't know until we get to heaven and like celebrate together. But there's been so many people, like from preachers to neighbours to my parents who pray like all the time for us, youth pastors, like honestly so many people who've had an impact. Like my grandma, she actually sends us mail all the time, and she signs it off saying love from your grandma, love from your praying grandma, like Timothy had.
Thinking of people who've gone before is probably the thing most, like the way I think about legacy is like when my granddad was 2 years old, he was crossing the street and a truck was about to hit him, and some complete stranger threw him out of the way and was paralyzed for the rest of his life. And I think now that like if he hadn't have done that, I wouldn't be alive today. And thinking like people who have had that effect, and like, I mean, you can go back many years and people I've never known who like sacrifice or who's, you know, God moving through them would mean that I wouldn't be here today. And so like I'm really conscious now that everything great I do I owe to a man whose name I probably will never learn, who went through life, you know, paralyzed because of one selfless act that he wasn't thinking, how is this going to affect the next generation? He was thinking, you know, in a split moment, am I going to do the right thing?
Wow, man. It's great. And I guess that ties so well into this question. You know, we're talking about people that have painted in and led a legacy for us. With that in mind, how do you overcome the distractions that life can throw at you and stay focused on living out your legacy? Because right now we're in a really fast food culture, aren't we? And lockdowns really showed us what that was in the past season, because now we can't get McDonald's on demand. You know, we can't get what we want when we want. Life's slowed down massively. So when, you know, we go back to some sort of faster rhythm of life, there's distractions, there's loads going on, there's things happening, there's stuff to focus on, keep us busy. You know, how do we live a legacy mindset in the midst of all of that?
there are a billion and one things to distract us from what is important and what matters most in life every day. And we all know what it feels like to get sucked into the vacuum of social media and just to lose hours on it. Like, what have I done for the past 3 hours? I've looked at videos of cats. It's so easily done. And for me, as has been said, it's faith is the antidote to those distractions. It's an intimate relationship with Jesus. He's the one that's going to keep me on track and keep me living in the legacy and the plans and the promises that he has for me. There's that amazing hymn, like, turn your eyes on Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth grow strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. It's that simple, really, isn't it? And I think if we can get caught up in the goodness of Jesus and the wonder of Jesus and just fall more and more in love with him, the stuff that is on offer to us doesn't seem as good. And the stuff that would contend for our attention, it doesn't stick as much, because, like, why would I go for cheap fast food when I've got, like, amazing steak on offer? It's that kind of comparison. Like, it's just not as good as living for Jesus, thinking about Jesus, like living each day in step and relationship with him.
So this leads me on to the next question. Let's think 100 years down the line, in 100 years' time, when we're all with Jesus, because we're all going to live really, really old lives. We look back on our life. What do we want it to have been known for?
I can tell you what I don't want to be known for first. In, like, my hometown, one of my favourite things there is a gravestone. Well, not my favourite thing, it's kind of haunting, really. It's a gravestone that says Joseph Carter, my beloved father, brother, uncle, and then underneath that it says, like, Mary Carter, and then wife of the above. And it's like her entire existence is just, not cherished mother, sister, etc. It's just wife of the above. It's like her legacy is connection to a husband who's this, greater man. And so, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want my life to be just a connection to someone else. So I want mine to be stand out, and I want to get to heaven and see people who's, can say to me, 20 years, 20 years down the line, because of a decision I made as a passing thing, I am, the result of, salvation. Because you encouraged one young person in 2020, that young person went on to preach to thousands, and these thousands of people got saved just because I was there to spend time with someone and hopefully impart some wisdom into their lives. So that's what I exist as a youth leader, is to, not to be the great person who can speak to multitudes, but to be the person who encouraged one person to see the potential in them and hopefully push them on to be that person to reach thousands.
It's great, mate. Your life group is going nuts in the chat right now. I see it in Jesus' name. Dude, you're such a legend, and mate, that is something we can all do, right? We're not all called to preach to thousands, but we are all called to love God and love people. And what a legacy that is, loving God and loving people.
If we just pursue, like, what God has put on our lives and strain towards, like, I think it's in Romans, it says run the race God has set for you. If everybody just runs their race, stays in their lane, and, like, gets what God has asked them to do, then, like, the whole world is just going to be saved so quick, right? But I think it also says in Matthew 6, about what is it? It says, do not store up for yourselves things of the earth, but store up your treasures in heaven, or something like that. I'm going to paraphrase it. But basically, like, for me, I should stretch towards things which are going to last forever, and not just be material things on the world which will come and go, like, not like worldly happiness or popularity or things like that, which really don't mean anything at the end of the day. And so for me, like, in years to come, I would love to know that I've actually made a difference in this world, and that people's lives have been changed, that souls have been saved, and that, like, when I get to heaven, I can see what has happened in the past and, like, meet all these amazing people and know that I've had a difference in some way.
I remember when I saw this question, I was a bit like, I'm only 17, I'm going into upper six of college, like, I'm be looking at university soon, how can I even imagine, like, what my legacy would be? But then I sort of thought about it a bit more and spoke about it with people and came to the conclusion that my age doesn't really matter, because whatever decision I make now creates that domino effect into my next stage of life, and then onward and forwards. And pretty similar to what people have already said, like, I want to make a difference in people's lives, even if it's just tiny. Like, I've got friends that I know I want to, like, find God and come to church, but it's hard. Like, you've got to be realistic about these things. It is difficult to talk to people, and I think I want to be that person that brings people closer to God, even if it's just coming to church once and, like, just talking to someone. That's something that I know I really want to do, and I think God has obviously put me in this group of friends for a reason, has put me in this college for a reason, and it's something that I have to remind myself every day, because I know I want to make a difference, and I want to be that person that people can go to if they because people do have questions, people are curious, people want to know but are scared to ask, and I know that's something that I'd like to do in my life.
Gloucester's very own Nathan Jordan.
I think, and as has been said, it's being true to what we are called to not compare ourselves, to not look at the Rabbi Zachariases of the world and to think, if only I need to write 17 million books, I need to do da-da-da. It's like, okay, what am I called to do? What are the gifts that God has given me? And how can I best fulfill that? So as I said, the people that I aspire to be like, it's Charlie, it's Michael Jordan, and then third it's Mother Teresa. And she said this, there's an amazing quote, and she says, I'm not called to be successful, I'm called to be faithful. That's what her quote is. And like, what an amazing idea, because I think the pressure that's on us and the pressure that's on you young people, like the cultural narrative at the moment, is just to be successful. Like, get followers, get likes, do something that's creative and innovative, be awesome all of the time, and be successful. Be successful. Let your legacy be success. Where it's just nonsense, and that contradicts the biblical narrative that tells us that it's humility and faithfulness that counts. And so you look at the story of the talents, where these guys are given these opportunities, and they're all given different amounts to do something with, and one is given 10, one is given 2, one is given 1. And the ones that do something with it, the ones that are faithful with what has been given to them, the response that the Master and Jesus, really God in the story, gives, it's the same to 10 and it's the same to 2. So it doesn't matter what you have or how big or small it is, as it has been said. The key, I believe, is faithfulness. And I'm not called to be successful. I'm not called to leave a legacy of success as I would know it, but have I been faithful? Have I been faithful to my wife? Have I been faithful to my family? Have I been faithful to my church and to the ministry that God has called me to? What is it that Nathan Jordan has been put on the planet to do? So a legacy of faithfulness is what I'd like to leave behind.
And that's Nathan Jordan, not Michael Jordan, right?
They're synonymous, Lee. People mistake us all the time.
Mate, you've literally hit the nerve of our generation, right? This is how you know Nathan is a youth pastor. His ear is on youth culture, right? Is that confusion for youth of being famous and being great? Is in one hand, you think that to be great, you have to be famous. But actually, there's a lot of people who are famous, but sorry to get spicy on a Friday night, but they're just not that great. But then we've got a lot of people who are great and nobody knows who they are. But our whole generation has bought into this lie, that we need to pursue 5 seconds of fame over a lifetime of greatness. And actually, if we can do those faithful things every single day, that will look back and have a great legacy. We may have millions of followers, we may have 10 followers, but at the end of the day, who cares? Because we've all got, like Lizzie said, an assignment to run it and stay in our lane, to run our race. And that's what we're held accountable to when we stand before God. And that's the reality, isn't it? As followers of Jesus, one day, Jesus will either stand there and say, well done, good and faithful servant, or he won't, He won't say, well done, good and famous servant, well done, good and successful servant, as Nathan, you're saying, well done, good and faithful servant. And hey, if that's the legacy we can all leave, I reckon we would leave a mark in this generation that would be unforgettable. Rather than selling our calling short on the altar of getting famous or a couple more likes or selling our life short. So good. Well, that was us for tonight's Audacious Youth online panel. Special thanks to Lizzie, Nathan, Charlie and Annie for being our guests on the panel tonight. You guys are amazing. We love you. Catch you soon.
Audacious Youth. How are you feeling? What are you doing? How are you crack-clacking? What's the word on the street? And what are people prophesying over you? Woo! I'm feeling the energy today. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're feeling swell. What an awesome night of youth it's been. Anyone excited for that first night back praise party? Well, someone is, and he's got 2 thumbs, and it's this guy. We are back again, another AY shout-outs. Starting off, this week, meme of the week. Honestly, this is one of the most heartbreaking moments, probably ever, that you can experience. Honestly, when your mum says that, oh, Julie, I've had some real troubles with you, what you said. Next up, we have got YouTube video of the week. Honestly, I don't even know what to say about this one, so just check it out. That was interesting to say the least. Next shout out, we have got a special shout out to a Chester team takeover video. Check it out.
Okay. Oh, okay. Nice guys always finish last. Should have known that.
Honestly, when she hits you with the brother in Christ, that's that one hurt. Next up, we have got TikTok of the week. Another staple. I know you were nervous it wasn't coming in this week. Well, I've got it for you. TikTok of the week. Now, this is a classic one. And it's classically annoying, is what it is. This is an American woman trying to make British tea. Just check it out and we'll talk about it after.
Hey guys, so I got a lot of questions after my last video and everyone wanted to see me make hot tea or British tea, so today we are going to make tea. So fill our mug with water, put it in the microwave, set it for a minute, pour the milk in, drop your tea bag in, add the sugar, give it a little stir, and that's how you make hot tea.
What? Do you know what a kettle is? Do you know what a kettle is? Well, and because that was so shambolic, Gregory this week thought he would show you what the perfect brew is, but also just disciple some of you who drink not the greatest brews. Yes. Thank you for that introduction, Ethan. As a seasoned brew drinker, I thought I would explain to you the perfect brew, and also just pastor some of you who drink dirty brews. Now, if you drink a black tea, which for some of you young folk who have smartly never ventured into this kind of realm, this is just a tea bag and a kettled hot water. Yes, kettle. No milk, no sugar. Some of us don't want to drink gross liquids. Next up, we have the people who drink way too much milk. If your tea is anything of this kind of colour, you've got it so wrong. If you drink this, you are a wet nappy. Go back to school, because this is for children. This is hot milk. Only respectable amount of sugars in a tea is 1 or 0. Any more, you make my tash twitch with rage. Just go and buy a frappuccino. But finally, we have the elite brew, the builder's brew. Oh, it's very warm. This brew, perfect. But that is all from me. Thank you for that, Gregory. You know, builder's brew for me, strong, no sugar, the perfect brew. Finally, we have got the most important one, obviously, hero of the week. Now this week, Chester be representing again with Phoebe from Chester campus. She has said to be fearless, bold, strong in all who she is. That was really bad. She is said to be fearless, bold and strong in who she is. She loves to invite friends to life groups, talk about what Jesus has done in her life. Honestly, she's just a flipping legend. Like, is there any more of legend status that you could get than a flipping legend? Because I don't know, maybe a chicken legend, because a chicken legend. Ooh. This is the end of shout outs. My face is about to dip to the West Region Hangout. So be there, or be square, or be triangle, because you don't want to miss it. If you don't have a link, I'm sure it's going to come up. Love you guys. Peace.
Thank you so much to the Hero of the Week. We celebrate you, and we're so glad that you have been voted by others as someone that is inspiring and just being awesome in this season, especially.
Yeah, you're doing brilliant, and it could be you next week. So you know, and if you've got a vote for Hero of the Week, let us know as well. We want to hear from you.
Nominate someone. That's
nominate
a good
someone.
idea.
That's a great idea, isn't it? Yeah, just thought of it now. It wasn't the plan from the beginning. Of course it wasn't.
Nominate.
Anyway, tonight has, I hope it's inspired you. I hope you've found it fun. I hope you feel like you've connected in some way. I hope that God has spoken to you tonight. And we just love to have you around. We love to have you connected in, and we've got loads of stuff in other ways midweek that you can connect to.
Yeah, so don't forget to invite your friends, because we've got loads of things that are awesome. So if you connect with our Instagram, you can see youth takeovers or team takeovers. So we're doing devotionals in the morning, and you get to have a little insight into someone's day. I mean, there's TV shows about who lives in a house like this, where you get to see what your friends are up to in the day.
It's true. We have Wednesdays is life groups night. Please make sure you get plugged into life groups. In this time where you maybe can't go out and see people all the time, life groups is a great way to see your friends, hang out with them, have a good conversation, and see the team as well. The team want to be with you and hang out with you.
Thursday we have gaming, streaming thing on YouTube.
Gaming streaming thing.
Gaming streaming thing.
Gaming streaming thing.
Streaming thing.
The gaming thing's been awesome. It's great to have some of our young people really leading that, and it's been so good. I've been enjoying jumping in.
And Friday we've got youth again.
Youth
so
online.
make sure you get to youth online. But the
online.
challenge is invite your friends. Who are you
Yes.
going to bring? Because
Who are
they
you
need to hear
bringing?
about Jesus too. And if you like this, they're going to like it as well.
This is true.
And
This
last
is very
but
true.
not least.
Oh, well, we are part of Audacious Church, and Audacious Church is online for you on YouTube every Sunday, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 5:30. How's it 5:30?
I just did 10, 12,
Okay, 5:30. Good. Now, please do get involved and connect to that as well. We are part of something that is bigger than just youth. We are part of a church that is impacting our city. So please do jump on and get involved with that.
But right now, don't go away, because we've got our region calls, so connecting with them. You should have your Zoom ID, but if you're brand new...
They'll be on the screen.
Oh, they're on the screen.
Yeah.
If you're brand new, make sure you jump into the Meet the Youth Pastors. We want to chat to you, and we've also got Lee and Lizandri from Chester, so we want to get to meet you, and if you're a youth pastor or whoever just visiting, come say hi.
Come say hi. Awesome. Well, we'll see you soon, guys. See you next week.
Have a great week.
Peace.